And just like that, one click button, and we are live. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on where you're tuning in from. Joined, as always, by my friend and trusty colleague, Super Dave here. How are you doing there, Dave?
I'm good, all good. Glad to be here again.
Glad to see you. Dave is still in Crete, of all places,
Yeah,
correct?
a bit
And
of a long
today
one.
you visit. Sorry, buddy, I cut you off.
No, it was yet 9 p.m. here, so I'm joining from late evening.
Late evening, and Dave is taking time away from his honeymoon. Hopefully, your new wife is finding something entertaining, or is she right there?
He's right here,
Trying it
yeah.
out. All right. Well, we'll say hi,
Yeah.
everybody. A group hello. A group hello. There's nothing quite like the sacrifices made there. And then, yes, well, we'll let you get back to it. But first, we've got marketing to talk about. Esteban, you're here, my friend. Oh, I've got to write you back too. I got your email regarding the bot stuff for the bowling alley. Thank you for sending that over. Yes, it looks very similar to what we've got as well. So that's perfect. It's good to see it sort of in action. Basically, what ends up happening is sort of really training it through. So the AI chatbot. So if, for context for anybody not as nerdy as us yet, we'll get you there. These are AI chatbots where what ends up happening is you can set up a widget on your website. You can use it for social media, I believe. Can you use it for conversations with Facebook and Instagram? I think you can.
Yes,
I
you
think you can.
can.
You can use it with SMS. Yeah, right on. So you can use it for basically all kinds of different things. And what it does is it will have a conversation with a potential prospect and answer their questions for them. And it's good, but it can be made amazing with just a little bit of training. And that's really it. So what ends up happening is you can put in your website or your client's website into this bot. It'll go crawl it, pull out all the relevant information it needs. Better idea is to actually have like a full-on Google Doc that's going to answer most questions, like what time are you open and what do you charge and where are you located and how do I get help, and you can just go train it on anything. And then what ends up happening is as people start engaging with it, you can go plus or minus or thumbs up or thumbs down with the answers that it gives, and then give it a better answer. So for example, I trained mine on like the most obscure random things possible. So it was like, what does Adam think about solar eclipses? I was like, no one's ever going to ask that. Hopefully. That'd be a weird question. So I asked that, and then the bot's like, didn't know what to do and answered something like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know, but it can help you with marketing. So all I have to do is be like, that's a bad answer. Instead, I want you to say, Adam thinks solar eclipses are super cool. So now anytime somebody asks that, they get that answer. And the same thing can happen for anything. It's like, well, we're normally open Thursdays till 5 p.m. And you can be like, well, actually, mostly Thursdays till 5 p.m., but make sure to check this link instead because sometimes we have holidays and this happens. So you can just keep going through it. And then it can take a lot of weight off your shoulders and off the shoulders of a business owner. But even cooler than that, and I think we talked about this last time. I'm looking at my phone because I'm trying to remember if we dialed it in, but it was that like AI agent, AI employee. And I gotta say, like of all the things that have come down the pipe, I'm most excited about that one because it's continuing to get better and more cool, and I think there's some huge potential there.
Yeah, definitely. That's especially with all the AI that's coming out. We want it to be like as user friendly as possible, and also like, can we pass that on to potential clients and businesses? And I think that one was like we tested it out live and we like asked the questions, and it was like, oh wow, like this actually works. Like it
It's
answered the
crazy.
question. We tried to trip it up with certain things, and it came
Yeah,
back, and it was like usually it's like kind of very like A answer or B answer, but this was like
yeah.
using our information and just double checking. So it was really cool to see that.
Yeah. I went through, I think even after we were messing around with it, I went through and I added a few more things like, what do you do if someone asks like, hey, are you a bot? So I had a chat with Sean, who's the CEO of High Level, and we were talking about what to do with it. And my question to him was like, hey, should we announce this thing as a bot? Be like, hi, I'm a bot and this and that. And what Sean said, which I thought was genius, was we don't need to introduce additional points of friction or apologize for things in advance that people may not care about. So what we decided to do, and then what I went in and by programmed, I mean, I just made some text for it because AI is smarter than me, is we don't say we're a bot, but then if someone's like, hey, are you a bot? The AI answers. It's like, I'm a virtual assistant, but some people say that's a bot. How can I help you? and then it just like sort of dismisses the question and moves on. And then the other thing that I wanted to do was like, well, what if someone gets angry and they're like, can I just speak to a person? Like, you put a human on, and then it answers like, I totally understand. Sorry for that. Yes, I will absolutely put you in contact with a person who can help. What's your name and email? And we'll have them reach right back out to you. I was like, oh man, this is basically taking care of every problem. And then we switched a few other things around. So anyway, it was cool. Sarvesh, hello. Good to see you. All right. Well, the questions are coming flooding in, Dave. As you can see, we have. Hey, can you see the questions actually from where you are right now?
Yes, I can
Okay, you
see
can. Right
like
on.
some of them come in and some of them don't. But yeah, I've just seen Esteban dropped a
Okay,
comment, I
right on.
think.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yes, love that our client can keep track of phone, website, Facebook, all in one place. Yeah, it's huge. Actually, it's actually, I was just chatting with the team earlier, like right before hopping on the call, and we were talking about kind of what the biggest feature is and how to sell it to business owners and what to do if we want to sort of empower them to do it themselves. And I think there's a lot of things that the software has that are probably overwhelming and a little too much for business owners. But what you can do is you can slowly start to drip out services for them. So bring them in on, I don't know, some kind of like social media stuff. And then you can show them that, well, we can also have the conversations all inside there. And then we can also run ads. And then those ads can have the conversation show up there. And then we can actually just automatically add them to this AI agent, which can then add them to a workflow. And all of these things can happen automatically without you needing to do or say anything for it. So yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think the future of AI is becoming more realistic. I think at first it was sort of this cool buzz that we saw, and everybody was sort of hopping on it. But ChatGPT now has become an integral part of my workday. Like before, it was a cool thing to have, and now I'm probably in there like every few hours having it format or answer or tweak some things. So
Yeah, I've had like a weird kind of, I say like weird relationship with it. So when it first came out, I was like, "Oh, this is amazing. I'm gonna use this all the time."
yeah,
And then I found like myself forcing to use it, and I was like, "It
yeah,
doesn't really give me what I want." I mean, that was like ChatGPT. I think it was three maybe,
yeah,
and now
yeah,
we're on
yeah,
like 4.0. I can't keep up with the naming conventions. But recently, like I've just and I was saying to this to some of the clients in our program Agency Accelerator, and it was like I'm using it so much. Like I'm
yeah,
just like my first port of call is now ChatGPT just to
yeah,
see like because we used to use Google, and then on Google we have to like search the articles and search which ones we want, and this
hmm,
can be sponsored, but ChatGPT is just giving me everything. And then
yeah,
I've started using it for like coding,
yeah,
like checking if Go High Level can do certain things
yeah,
and can I do this, and it's like it makes me do things so much faster, and I'm like I'm really like you said, every day I'm in it, and now I've tabbed it, it's open all the time because I know I'm going to
yeah.
need it. So I'm finding it like the use case for it a lot more kind of easier to use now, and it's helping me a lot with my day-to-day tasks.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's probably what I'm using it for most is like an admin assistant. So it's like best
Mm.
example. I was working on a video that's like a compilation of a whole bunch of different marketing agency videos. And I copied and pasted all the names for them. And unfortunately, we use the same kind of naming convention for most of them. But I went into ChatGPT and I was like, can you put these into sections? Like which ones would fit under niche and offer and services and clients and acquisition? And it was like, put them here, then put them here, then put them here, then do this one there. And it like built it all out. I was like, that's not bad. I was like, I don't like that category though. Like, what if we move these here? And then it gave me better suggestions. And it just like, it goes on and on. And then I was like, okay, well, here's the title that I'm thinking about for it. Like, do you have any ideas or suggestions for it? And it'll be like, well, based on this, you might try this word instead or this. And I find that I think for the average, say, business owner, and even the new marketer, you're going to get there. It's going to be more than enough. Like, and I think as you become like more experienced, you're going to start to find a couple, I don't want to say holes, but like, okay, this might work better than that. But again, oh man, I'm kind of nitpicking. It's like, and maybe I'm just sort of trying to justify my existence anymore so the robots don't take over completely. But yeah, it's bloody good. So,
It is.
all right. Let's dive. We got some questions. When creating landing pages for services such as MCTB or review management, is it best to use icons versus being too text heavy? What's the sweet spot number of sentences in a paragraph before it is too much? I don't think I fully understand. Let me reread that. Dave, let me know. You can dive in if you get it. When creating landing pages for services.
Yeah, I think he's talking about like formatting and like creative landing pages. So like
Yeah.
again, when it comes to building a landing page, again, we always want like kind of function over like the form and things like that. We want to make sure it works properly and has like the clear marketing principles. So like we've always spoken about like clear call to action or clear headline. What is that page for? And then clear call to action on there, like click this button or take an action. And then from there, you just want to make sure everything is super clear on that page. There's not too much text and too much fluff. Like, and then from there, once you've got your kind of core principle of the page, you can then add some branding and make it look a little bit prettier. But from my perspective, like I've built super, super fancy funnels, and then I've built like headline, subline, opt-in, and I've split tested them, and the simple one to
Yeah.
to my
Yeah.
disappointment, but
Yeah.
also
I know.
like happy, just outperforms it by like 30, 40, 50%. I'm like,
Yeah.
how? But I don't know. Till to this day, I think maybe because everyone's on their mobiles, it loads faster, which means people take action quicker. It's less to think about, less to read. Sometimes when we build landing pages, we put so much text and images on there. They've actually got more reason to leave than like more reason to opt in. So sometimes the less text we use, the better. So that's my kind of opinion on landing pages.
Yeah, I agree. I think what ends up happening is, well, I'll answer this first, then I'm going to basically agree with everything you said there, Dave. Like when it comes to being too text heavy, it depends. That there has to be enough text to explain everything that you need to explain, basically. So you don't want them guessing or hoping or thinking or being unclear and unsure. That's where things like FAQs come in really handy, though, is you can have like a drop down and you can have like text that expands and you can give people more information if they want it without like overwhelming them with a wall of text. What you'll find, which is interesting, is that it's typically market dependent and service dependent. So a lot of it depends on like what you're selling and who you're selling to. For example, if you go to any copywriting training course, program, mentor, whatever it is, you're going to find like walls of copy. Just like thousands and thousands of words of copywriting, because like that's how their people buy and that's how they communicate and that's what they sell. Anytime that I'm doing anything marketing related, I tend to err more on the side of too much rather than too little. Anytime that I'm going for, I don't do as much business to consumer stuff now, but if back when I was doing more of that, it was super low, like super light text. Here's the benefit, here's a headline, here's a thing. And exactly like Dave said, simple is almost always better. We split test everything, but man, I've seen some ugly sites and they convert like gangbusters. And then I've seen some like beautiful ones and I know they're failing miserably. And I don't know what the psychology behind it is, but follow up, presenting digital marketing packages or services to home service business owners of only having done for you agency implemented offers, removing the option of DIY. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah, like essentially, if you're looking at structuring your agency, you have a couple different options. We talked about this last time. I had the graphic. I don't know where it is. So we won't dig it out now. But it was like you can start with like software, and then you have this sort of middle ground area of selling systems. Then the top end service of doing it completely for them. My preference is you stay towards the top end of that. So yes, you can do it all for them, or you can give them some kind of systems, but I don't like giving them the keys to the Ferrari basically and have them just like run it off a cliff, because most of them just aren't going to know what to do and they're going to get overwhelmed and then disappear. Not to mention selling done for you services is, I'm going to make up a number, but like 5 to 10 times easier than selling anything else. Because people with money don't want to do it themselves. So if you're selling DIY solutions, or you're selling done with you solutions, coaching, consulting, things like that, where you're working alongside them, that is like literally 5 to 10 times harder to sell than going in there and saying like, I'm just going to do it all for you. That is the most irresistible offer that there is, even if it comes attached with a high price tag. Like that's just a good offer. So if you are doing done for you stuff, make sure that you're making it explicitly clear that that's what you're doing. Like don't make them guess. They're like, well, am I going to do this? It's like, no, we're taking everything off your shoulders. You're completely done. We do everything. We're responsible. Da 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 da. Also, I wrote a note, but everyone's got to remember, we got to hit that like button, because otherwise it doesn't get shared as much around, and then people don't see it, and then it gets sad. Although Dave and I'll just hang out and talk anyway, but that's cool. All right. Sarvesh, Facebook ads for lead gen for ecom SEO agency. Hang on one sec. Facebook ads for lead gen for ecom SEO agency, yay or nay? Nay. Here's why. If this is, and I make sure I understand this right, if this is running Facebook ads For your agency, which is an e-com SEO agency, then no, Facebook ads are not going to be a good fit for you. Two reasons. One of which is because Facebook ads are typically best, not always, but typically best B2C, not B2B, because you're dealing with a smaller market. But then it gets even more extreme when you start being as specific as like e-com SEO agency, because you're just you're not going to reach enough people to make that worth it. You could do Google ads, maybe. To me, I'd still probably push more of like a content play. It'd be more like a YouTube stuff, building up an authority play with Instagram content, or actually e-com SEO. Yeah, I'd be pushing hard with Instagram content because they're going to be there anyway. Maybe Instagram ads, maybe, but still probably not.
Yeah, I think you get really high CPMs because it's quite niche down. I'd also look long term, like to make sure you're SEO'd correctly, because if you're coming up for the correct search terms that they're looking for, then you come up, then you've kind of got a win-win because they're like, hey, how did you find me? Oh, I
Yeah,
was top of the search engine. Well, that's what
yeah.
we do. We get you to the top of the search engine. So you definitely want to try and make sure you're SEO'd long term as well.
Yeah, I did that with my one of my first agencies. Is I ranked for like SEO Vancouver, which was I couldn't even tell you how much money that made. It was insane. It was worth every single penny and hour that I had to spend to rank for that term. And I pulled out all the stops for it. So we had different websites, and we were running it was a big gray hat at the time. We were called PBNs, like private blog networks, and setting up like all these different link things. But I created just tons of content and all the authority links. But I was ranking. I think I was like top for Victoria and like 3 for Vancouver, and like it was insanity because people just go and call you and you just have leads coming out of everywhere. So yeah, if I ever did it again, that's what I would do. Candace, what are your thoughts on Claude? Oh, you mentioned Claude before, Candace. Hang on. That's the AI writer guy. I've not used it. So Claude AI. Talk with Claude, an AI assistant from Anthropic. Yeah, I've not used it. I'm sure it's fine. I'll check it out after. I'll see if I've got it loaded up in the background, so I'll take a look. I mean, if it's going to help you and it's going to save time, then it's going to be worth it. Most of these services at this point are pretty good. So I've yet to find one that I was like, that was just dog food. That was not worth my time. That said, I have a really hard time with anything other than like Chat GPT. I think it's 4.0 or whatever they call it. It's really good. It's really good. All right. Sorry, Dave. You look like you're going to say something.
No, again, I agree. Like, I think ChatGPT kind of does everything you need. I mean, there's so many spin-offs from it, and a lot of the time they're just using
Yeah.
ChatGPT's API, and
Yeah.
they're just kind of front. So, yeah, I think I was just looking at they're clearly using different language models like Anthropic. I don't know what that is, but
No.
yeah, again, happy to test these things out, and if it doesn't take away from your day and like take more time to actually use, then yeah, definitely use it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're incredible. Yeah, that's a good point though. Yeah, a lot of these AI software are using ChatGPT's API. So they basically plug into ChatGPT and they put a pretty face on it. Actually, we were looking at doing that. I found out. I was talking to Ed about this. They're called like GPT assistants or something like that, and you have to build it out of, I don't know, Liquid or Python or something. But all it's doing is you're putting a pretty picture over top of like ChatGPT, which is running in the background. So that way we could format it so that it would look like a marketing thing, but really it's just a marketing bot that I've already trained in ChatGPT. So again, what they've probably done is done whatever they've done, and then they've trained it a little better and had people go back and forth and continue to iterate on it. All right, Rob D. ran an audit on a client who responded to cold email, Loom video campaign, and they haven't claimed their GBP, chat widget, no listings, and some other areas. How would you approach the call with offer? Yeah, I would basically exactly what you said there. That'd be my call. I'd be like, hey, based on what we found, there's a lot of really easy, low-hanging fruit for us to take advantage of. I'd start with Google Business Profile, make sure that we have it claimed. Then I'd want to optimize it for you. Once that's done, we're going to need to start getting some reviews on it, which will increase the rankings. The chat widget, I wouldn't worry about too much to start. I think GBP is probably the biggest one. No listings. I don't really know what that is, but I mean, maybe citations or whatnot, because then we could do it. I mean, honestly, what I would do is I would just lay out a plan and then present everything to them. keep in mind, maybe don't overwhelm them with like 1,000 things, but like, here's 5 things. And then be like, what I would like to do, or what I think the best plan is if we tackled these over the next, like, we'll do one of these every like 2 to 3 weeks, which is about the time it'll take to do. So by the end of it, you're going to have like a fully fleshed out, massive marketing campaign, everything taken care of, da-da-da-da-da-da. How does that sound? And if they say great, then you start. And if they say, whoa, that sounds crazy and way more than I need and too expensive, you say, no problem. What if we just focused on Google Business Profile over the next 30 to 90 days? And we just focus there, we optimize it, we got all this stuff, and then we'll be able to take the price from X to Y.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Sounds like a plan. Make it happen, Rob. Eugene, hey, buddy. Hey, Adam, what should I send my package options doc with detailed services to client stating they can make a better decision better when visually presented? Not paid client yet. So I don't like to send my package options to the clients for them to just have and review, especially if there's prices attached to that, because they're going to lack the context for what those are and why they cost the way they do. And they're just going to be looking at it based on nothing. So they're going to see like SEO, 2,500. And they're going to be like, that's expensive, or that's cheap, or that's whatever. But it's like, depends on so many different things. So I never have like a services doc that I send. What I do is I don't mind having it, and then I walk them through it on a call. If I need to send it to them, like, I don't know, say they don't have Zoom or anything like that, which never happens, but say they didn't, then I could possibly email it to them, but I would remove like the bulk of the stuff, and I definitely get rid of any pricing that's on there, because I don't want them to have a document with pricing, because then literally you start a price war where you're just competing against other people based on price alone. And that is the worst possible situation for them and for you. Like, it's bad. So no, don't send your stuff. Cool. Candace, getting high. Spat all over my microphone. Pardon me. Classy over here. Getting high open rates with my cold email campaign, but not a lot of replies. I'll send you a quick video as the hook. Any more suggestions to improve replies? I would turn off open rate tracking for starters, because that can impact deliverability. So inside are using Reach or Instantly or whoever, but regardless, there's a way to do, we'll basically turn off like all tracking except for replies. Because what ends up happening is there's like a tiny little pixel and it can get flagged and sent to spam or whatever it is. So that's number one. As far as I'll send you a quick video as the hook. Yeah, I would try anything else as well. Like, we've got like a list of them inside the sheet there, inside the program that you've got access to. So I would swap that out with like, interested in seeing more, open to a quick chat. I've already recorded a video. So I like that one, basically saying like, I've already got the video. Do you mind if I send it over? Like, I made a quick video for you. Mind if I send it over? That one tends to work really well. I'd try that one instantly. Okay. Yeah, right on. So yeah, I would turn off the tracking and then try those, starting with, I made a quick video explaining everything. Mind if I send it over? Cool.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're just trying to revoke the reply, aren't we? So again, you've got to kind of think about what is going in that email in the subject line or the text. Is like, what's going to get them to click, yeah, okay, reply, and so like obviously the question, and like assuming that we've already created it, it's like, yeah, I want that, and then obviously you can go away and create that video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Awesome. Aaron, hey dude, about to launch a reactivation campaign for free for this first client. At what point do I charge, and how do I continue the service from month to month? Okay, right on. So many different ways to do it. Normally what I do is I set the expectation ahead of time, so that it's not like all of a sudden they just get hit with a charge and be like, I thought it was always free, which by the way, like you'll get, if you don't ever charge and then you all of a sudden want to charge them, they'll be like, what? No, it's just a weird psychological thing where people don't like paying for things they had for free. So right from the beginning, I was like, hey, why don't we do this? We're going to run it for 30 days for completely free. After which we can discuss what that looks like going forward based on some of the results we get and how we do and da-da-da-da-da. So for starters, I kind of treat free clients as testimonials and case studies and reviews anyway. So ideally, I want to transition them into a paid client. But if I don't, like, the purpose has still been served. The second thing that you need to do is during this campaign, you've got to track the numbers and you've got to find out, ideally before you send the campaign, like what a client is worth to them and what a call is worth to them. So if they've got, let's use easy math, like a list of 1,000 people and they're selling something for $500 and you're sending out an offer that's going to give them like a $20 free thing, and you're going to get responses to that, and then they're going to upsell half of them, and you get, I don't know, 30 responses, whatever. This math is never going to work out in my head, but like regardless. So if you can get, I don't know, 20 people to say yes at $500, that's 10 grand. So I was like, okay, well, I just made you 10 grand and I'm only charging 2 grand to do this kind of work. So I'm getting you like a 5x ROI on your money. And that's the mindset that we want to go in. Now, the beauty of doing something for free like that is that we can test the campaign. If it doesn't deliver, we can figure this out. Again, this is the importance of choosing clients that have high enough lifetime value so that they're not selling something for like $7 and then you make them $7, which is not going to pay anybody's bills. So yeah, that's it. And then once that's done, I run the campaign, say we're a few weeks in, and we say, great, that was fantastic. Based on what we talked about, I don't know what you talked about, but like now that that's all done, would you like to have a discussion about like moving forward and like what else we can do together to build on that, to do it again, to run something else, etc. At which point they'll be more open and receptive, and then you can sort of present your situations. So, okay, well, based on what we've talked about and what we've seen so far, I've got a couple different ideas. I'm going to run them both by you. The first of which is a higher end package. I don't think it's right for you, but I kind of just want to walk you through it anyway. It involves Google Business Optimization. We'll do this, we'll do that, and we'll do that. And it's $3,000. Like I said, I don't think it's right, but I thought I'd bring it up anyway. The better fit, I think, is one that we do this. We don't need those other things. And that's 2,000 or 1,500 or whatever it is. Again, feel free to mess the numbers around a bit. And then they'll be say yes, no, too much, too little, whatever it is. And you can use this as a good sales practice for nothing else. Cool.
Yeah. Crushed it.
Cool. We're good then. All right. Jesse. Hey dude. Good to see ya. I make intro videos for my clients. I want to offload that and also look for someone to do my YouTube videos. I like this one dude who proposed 2 to 3 videos with thumbnails monthly, $512. Is that price okay? Yep, that sounds decent. Again, it depends on the quality of the video. So for our video editing, I've paid everything from $50 a video from the early days up to $1,500. For some recent ones that are slightly longer. So it's like there's a huge spectrum. I've also paid multiple people $400, $300, whatever it is, and received wildly different outcomes back. Like wildly. Like some of them are phenomenal and some of them are just garbage, like terrible. So what I typically like to do is I wouldn't commit to anything like that. I'd get them to do 1 to 2 videos first. And do that on a per piece basis just to make sure that you like his style and you guys have a good workflow back together and there's good dialogue. Other than Dave, I think I probably talked to the editors more than like anybody else because I just like there's always some kind of feedback or note. Like I just talked to them again this morning being like, hey, I recorded this, but I shot it like this and the lighting's a bit weird and I forgot about an echo and I forgot this other clip and that goes there, but I actually want this. Again, over time, you're going to get better at refining your vision and what you want. So in the early days, it's actually probably nice if they take the driver's seat and just be like, give us this, give us that, here's this. And then they give you back something that you like. And then also show them examples of some things that you do like. Keep in mind, certain aspects are really inexpensive to edit, like talking head, titles, things like that. Adding some B-roll, and certain things are very expensive, like motion graphics, anything with After Effects where they're like actually documenting campaigns, anything animated, cartoon style stuff, like all of that is super time intensive because it takes hours to basically produce like 10 seconds of content. So yes. Good. Also, you have coffee with NK at the end of the month. Hey, that's sweet, dude. NK for not familiar. Nick Kuzmich. That's awesome. Yeah, tell him I say hi. I haven't talked to him in a while, so that's wicked. Yeah, that'll be good. All right. Aaron, Jesse, solid. Okay, good stuff. Won't get lower than that. Quality will never be perfect, especially with lower price. Good. Right on, team. Yeah, video stuff's go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I think for someone like, obviously I started my YouTube channel, 3-4 years ago, and you were like, it's time, you need to start a YouTube channel.
It's time.
And I think you've got to start somewhere, and I think, the price is probably the kind of contributing factor at that time. But then as you start to create more videos and get better at it, you can start to look like, oh, is it worth getting a better editor or pay a little bit more? So I think, you just go through that kind of process. I know I look back at some of my videos now and I'm like, wow, that was terrible. Bad edit,
yeah, I do the
bad
same.
video, but you just evolve and improve over time. So
yeah. It's video is one of those skills, I think, and I don't know, working with video editors is neat as well because you're working with like a creative field. And they're not going to know marketing as well. So what ends up happening sometimes is the editors that we have now are phenomenal and they know marketing. But a lot of that has to do with me training them as well and being like, we need this, we need that. That's really cool from a creative perspective, but like you can watch retention drop. Like so now I know if we do this, retention's going to drop. We do that, that's going to go there. Again, I think we're kind of like nitpicking a bunch of stuff. The bigger thing is, are you comfortable enough with it that you're going to be able to make the videos and get your reps in? Because that is what's going to lead to the improvement. And then, yeah, you're going to figure out sooner than later, like where the ROI with your video is coming from. So I think in the early days, I remember, oh man, I spent a fortune to get video as it edited. And they didn't ROI because I didn't know what I was doing. But like all of that paved the way for what it is now. So, oh man, that was probably one of the hardest business decisions to justify to friends and family. It was like, why are you spending so much time and money on YouTube in the early days? Everyone thought I was insane. And now it's like, it's inconceivable to imagine what the business would be without that channel. Someone offered, they said a note this morning. They're like, can we buy your channel? And I was like, no. There's no way. I don't even know what the number would be. Like, because I was talking to Natalie joking about it. I was like, oh, I might maybe like, I don't know, 20 mil take for it. And she's like, no, there's no way. Do not take 20 mil for the channel. Just like because of the amount of money that it generates. I was like, make that back. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a good point. So it's like, I don't know, greatest decision ever to start making more videos.
Yeah, definitely.
That said, if they came out with 20 mil, I'd probably take it. Who am I kidding? I was like, I was like, go start making other videos. I don't know.
Yeah,
Adam disappeared. What's that?
You could just make another channel.
Oh, I would just make another channel. Yeah. They'd probably be like some non-compete something where it's like, Adam's not allowed to talk about marketing. I would die inside. I don't think I could do that because I would just lose my mind. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, yeah, Jesse, keep us posted on the video stuff. Would you say the next stage of growing for an agency is creating that YouTube channel? Yeah, that's funny. Yes. Yeah, and becoming the authority. I think becoming the authority is kind of the main one, but I think YouTube is the best way to do that. There's just no other media channel that even comes close. The way that I thought about it in the early days and the way that sort of bought me into it was before I started YouTube, I was running I was still running ads, but like running a lot of ads, and we were running ads to webinars. And we would pay, I don't know, I can't remember. Let's say $15 for like a webinar opt-in. And then 30% of people would show and like 20% would watch the whole thing. So essentially I was paying, I don't know, like $100 to get somebody to watch a video. And then think about that for a second. I'm paying $100 to get like one person to watch a video. But then I make a video on YouTube and 100 people watch it for free. So I was like, so that just saved me like $1,000 of ad spend. But then that video compounds. So it's like, yeah, sure, it was 7 views this month, but then it was like 7 more the next month. Then it was 20. And then I made that video and then that linked to that one. And now it's 500. Now it's 1,000. And then that video popped off and now it's 1 million. So it's like $1 million, imagine, or 1 million views. Imagine that. And I'm paying even $1 a view. I'd have had to pay $1 million in ads to like run traffic to that, to have them look at my big dumb face for like 20 minutes. Like that's insanity, right? And then you start thinking about, actually I should show, can I show this without showing everything? Hang on. This is where I get all excited and just like show everything I shouldn't be showing, but hang on. I just want to show you the concept of it. Yeah, exactly. I wonder if I can screenshot. That's probably a safer idea because then I can make sure we're not giving away too much. Oh yeah, it will show too much. Okay, so views are down right now, which is good actually, because this makes it even better, more believable. Let's do that. Save, back to the thing, add the image, click the thing. How does one do this? Let's do this. They don't make this easy, hey, with the stuff. Good
share
golly.
Screen.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, share screen. So this is my, this is the main channel. Is it the main channel? Hang on. Is this the small channel? That seems like too many views for the small channel. This is the main channel. So in the last 48 hours, it was 30,000 views. The highest it normally ever hits is like 40 or 50. But that's 30. I don't know what that is. What's that divided by 2? 15,000. So 15,000 views in a day, which is like an inconceivable amount of traffic and attention to get for anything that you want to do. So yeah, if you build this asset up, you can then just say, would you like this? Would you like that? Would you like another thing? And people, like, even if a small percentage of them take action, you're kind of set. And I think the beauty of YouTube as well is that, and this is what I love about it, is there is a barrier to entry that keeps most people out of it. Whereas like Instagram, you can post a reel, you can make some captions and posts, and like, you don't really have to put yourself out there. YouTube takes work, which is amazing because most people don't want to do work. So if you're one of the people that does, and then you're willing to sort of commit to it, yeah, madness. Show everything. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. One day we need all the secrets. I'll tell you all the secrets. There's lurkers though. You never know this video might get into the wrong hands. Got to keep some things inside. It's funny. We made this video, that like big presentation. Oh, I'll save the jokes. We'll see them another day. Aaron, heard of people doing high ticket for reactivation and then roll into a monthly 3K reactivation into 1.5K until next reactivation. Thoughts? All for gyms. Okay, right on. Okay, so heard of people doing high ticket for reactivation and then roll into monthly 3K reactivation into 1.5K a month until next reactivation. I don't fully understand.
Saying 3K down for the first reactivation. And then once you've done 30 days, you do the 1.5K monthly, and then till the next reactivation, and then 1.5K. So it's like upfront cost, which I don't mind because reactivation, you could potentially like get a lot of low hanging fruit, which would cover that initial 3K. And then obviously you make more upfront, and then obviously monthly, because once you've used a list, you've squeezed the juices, and then the juices are going to get less and less and less. So yeah, I personally, I don't mind 3K and then 1.5K.
Yeah. I think the thing that I have is I don't like doing just one service for it because then you're not as sticky. So there's a really broad, big gray area sweet spot of like how much you want to offer and how much you don't at the same time. So the opposite ends of the spectrum are, one side is we offer them like everything under the sun and we do all of this stuff. The problem with that is 80-20, right? So they're not going to get results from everything. You're going to end up doing work for things that aren't even working. They're also going to start to feel like, why am I paying for all of these things that don't even work and I don't even want? So that's bad. The other side is we have one thing, and if they decide they don't want that one thing, we're gone. And then we have nothing else. So I never like to tie myself to a service, or I never like to be like the Facebook ads guy or the SEO guy or the whatever. I like to be the marketing guy. So I've got tools that I'm able to draw from as they are relevant and valuable to you and your business and how I'm able to help you. And if I don't have a tool, I can find a way to get it, or someone will have the tool or whatever it is. But like, I can bring those resources in. I'm the chess master, the conductor of the orchestra. I move the pieces around. One of which is a reactivation campaign. But I'd find something else there that we can do as well. I mean, with gyms, hyper-local targeting Facebook ads, like, that's good. Reactivation campaign, 100%. But like, again, exactly like Dave said, once we've done everyone, like, we've got to give it minimum 30 days and probably a bit longer, depending on how hard we hit them with it. Whereas like Facebook ads are going to bring in more people from the local area. Events, like if the gym owner is willing to do that, is always good. Free 2-week passes are good. Bring a friend referral coupons are always good. Yeah, there's tons of stuff.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I know I spoke to Aaron last week on this reactivation campaign inside the program, and I think he was saying the gym's capacity is like nearly full or quite full. So he knows that with that reactivation campaign, it might fill up and be 100%. So then obviously the next 30 days. So it might be a case of like reactivation campaign, but also running their email marketing, like you said, Adam, and then looking at different offers of, bringing people back in and bringing people and maybe upselling them to different packages and just increasing overall revenue through the marketing systems that they already have.
Yep. All of that. Genius. Jesse, if you were to create a plan on how to strategize creating that platform from the beginning, how would you do that? Are you talking about YouTube, I assume? Like how I would go start YouTube from? Because if so, how can I put this in like a sound clip, bite-sized answer? Because obviously there's a lot to it. We live and die. Okay, yes, YouTube. Right on. Before I go and answer a question that's totally irrelevant. You're asking about TikTok, right? TikTok. Let me show you the dances. So we live and die by our target markets, right? So the first thing is like YouTube is any other media platform, channel, whatever it is. Like everything that you're going to do there is going to be directly relevant to everything else that you do. So all of your understanding of your target market is going to come into play. So that's sort of step one, is understanding that, and then like writing down every possible pain, angle, fear, solution, like a complete ideal client avatar worksheet. The second thing is probably going about as hard as I can on competitor research, specifically on YouTube. So there may not be any direct competitors. If there are, fantastic. Like look at all their stuff and look at their top performing videos. You can just go videos, then popular, see the ones there. Also look at ones that are trending and which ones have popped off lately. But then you can also find indirect competitors. So who else is selling to your target market? Who else is selling something similar to you? What other marketing channels are there that you can take a look at? Look at mine. Look at my top videos. There's trends there for sure. Like it's around different strategies and things. And then find the long tail. Again, I'm less concerned with like SEO optimizing YouTube as I am for showing up in suggested and homepage and stuff like that. But as a way to start, like long tail style keyword questions are decent to get in front of people that are looking for those questions, specifically in regards to like your niche. So yeah, I mean, that's probably the big ones. And then from there, I would say make 30 crappy videos is the big thing. It's like, try not to judge yourself too hard for like your first 30 videos, because the progress that you're going to experience over those 30 videos is like monumental, instrumental, huge, right? And there's basically almost no point in me or Dave or anybody coming in and like critiquing one of your first videos, because we just don't have the reps in yet. This is the reason it's like I say no to basically every, this sounds really douchey, but it's like just time constraints. I say no to most podcast like invitations, like, Adam, will you come on the podcast? But we have like a rule: if they have less than 100 episodes, like we don't even look at it. Because again, they just haven't done the reps for it. So they don't have the proof of concept, and it's not really dialed in yet, or whatever it is. So the same thing goes with YouTube. It's like, you're just going to have to put in videos, and then you're going to find your style. Like, do I like it this way? Do I like it that way? And the other thing is, try to improve like 1% on each video. So can I make a better hook, a better intro, better title, better thumbnail, better this, better that? I think that's it. And then make sure that you're set up to succeed from the beginning, so that you're giving as much value as you can, and you're kind of soft selling the fact that you work with clients. So you don't need like a hard call to action in your video. It's like, by the way, call me if you want client help. But what you can do is you can like, we do this all the time. It's like, you just soft seed. We've done this in this live today, where it's like, look, one of our clients inside the Agency Accelerator program, they've done this thing and da 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 da. So it's like you're announcing the fact that you have a program or an agency. You work with clients, you've gotten results for them, and then people are smart. So make sure that like your contact or your link to your funnel or whatever it is in the descriptions below. And then I typically say like, work with me, : here's the link. And then that'll take them to the VSL, and they'll find it. Yeah. And then I just make more videos. Always more videos. That's really the answer.
It never ends.
Never ends. Just keeps getting better. Yeah, it's funny. If I had to think about like one thing that I would encourage people to do, it would be more YouTube stuff. Yeah, really. And I think the reason, it's funny though, I used to talk about it a lot more, and then I stopped talking about it because nobody did it. So I felt like I was kind of just like screaming into the void, being like, it's really important, you should do it. And then everyone's like, yeah, and then they didn't do it. So yeah, the fact that you're doing it is amazing. Just stick with it. I think that's the other one. Just don't quit it.
Yeah, I think it's a hard skill. I think there's, like you said, it's a high barrier to entry. Like, and again, when you watch a lot of YouTube videos, like prime example was when you told me to get into it. I watched all your YouTube videos, but you were 5-6 years ahead of me.
Yeah.
And you were doing skits and making it funny. And I was like, how do I be like Adam? I want to be like Adam. And that's what Jesse's doing, is looking at your videos and going, how can I be like that? And you're just not going to be. You're going to be awkward. The lighting's going to be off. You'll forget to turn your mic on. Your camera might be blurry.
That's my early videos. Yeah.
Yeah. Literally, like all the things that I did. And over time, you find your style and you get better. Like, even last week we were having a conversation. I do this all the time, and I do this all the time.
Right.
And that's like, and like you were saying, it's not a powerful move. Like, that's like a sign of me being nervous. So now on my latest video, I'm like, I've got one arm and I've one hand and I'm doing this. So it's like always working on those things to try and improve.
Yeah, definitely. No, I think, yeah, my first video was filmed in my parents' basement with a camera that I borrowed from my dad that I couldn't focus. That the audio, I didn't know how to set the stereo, so it was like mono, and then I didn't know how to edit it, so it was only on one side. I couldn't afford an editor, so I had to do it myself. So I was like everything was wrong. Everything was wrong. I sweat through my shirt, so I had to change shirts, which fortunately I didn't know how to set like 1080p anyways. It was like 720, or it looked like it was filmed from a potato, but it was, but it's there. And it's fine. And looking back at it, it's not good, but it's not bad. But that's because people don't see the like 4 hours before then that I went making like a 4-minute video. So it was the most stupid thing ever. At this point, I've made 1,000 videos. So like, actually well more than 1,000, but like, I think there's 1,000 posted publicly on the channel. So there's like, that's a lot of reps. And like everyone took, yeah, we just tried to improve on it. And then I don't know, it kind of becomes fun. So yep. Yeah, I won't look at it. That's all good. Send me the 30th though, dude. I'll be on it. All right. Hey, my man. Roughly 20,000 funeral homes in North America. Would it be worth doing a funeral home YouTube channel with such a relatively small audience? Yep, it would. And the reason is because let's just do some easy math. Every time I say easy math, I can't do it. And then it gets worse. And then I end up using a calculator for like 1 + 1 or something like that. But we're going to do this anyway. So we're going to say 20,000 funeral homes. Let's say, I don't know, what's like times 1% of them. So 200. That's not bad. We could say even like 0.1%. Let's take 0.1%. So what would that be? 20. So if we can get like 0.1% of them to like watch and become clients, which I don't think is unreasonable, especially if you become the go-to resource for that. And you charge $2,500 for a service or whatever. Well, that's 50K. I think 20 times 25. Yeah, that's right. That's 50K a month. Mm-hmm. And then you can have other things and there'll be other people that'll have it. And I mean, honestly, if you're there long enough and you are ranking for those terms and showing up for that kind of thing, yeah, you'd be sitting on a gold mine. Especially because there could likely be an acquisition as well for that. I don't like that model as well as just running it and cash flowing it forever. But like if you have the go-to funeral home YouTube channel, like people will come out and be like, I'll buy it or do this, or can I post this? Or you'll also get sponsorship deals that can be insane. Insane. Some of them are yeah, crazy. But again, if you've got access to the audience that they want to reach, they're worth every penny. So
definitely. Also, like YouTube's a search engine as well, and SEO. So a lot of the time what happens if people search it on Google, your videos will come up, and then, you know, if you see the video, most time people want to watch versus reading, so they'll click on the video and watch your content. So yeah, I've noticed a lot of my videos, I've got traffic from Google because they rank inside of Google, which can be super powerful.
Yeah. Some of mine do that. I think it's like, let's do a quick search. Actually, I'm half curious. I think it was like intro to marketing. That showed up on Google forever. Yeah, it's still there. Yeah, let me know, everybody. Let's do a fun thing. We'll all do it together. Go to Google and just type in intro to marketing and then scroll down past the ads. And it should be like one of the top links, and it'll be a video. It'll be introduction to marketing. And there might be another video, an introduction to marketing strategy.
Yeah,
which are both.
And then principles of marketing as well.
Principles of marketing. That's on there for you? I didn't see that one. I don't think. Google's hiding that one from me.
3 out of the 4 videos on the videos page on Google is you.
Nice. That's wicked. Yeah. So that's like, I mean, I don't need to tell you how powerful that is. Like that's insanity. That's insanity. And you could have that for like, I just Googled real quick in YouTube funeral home marketing. And there's like a video from 6 years ago from like a consulting company, and it's a minute long. So that's done. Like the second you make that title. There's one from the Direct Cremation podcast. What a world. That's a year ago, but that's just a podcast episode. So that won't do well. There's real estate investing tips. There's one by Gary Vee from 9 years ago. How to bring relevance to the funeral. There's nothing. This is yours. Go take it. Go do it right now. That's amazing. Yeah, you got this, Justin. Make it happen, buddy. All right. Jesse. Great question, Justin. Follow up to that. If you are also looking at creating a personal brand and might possibly sell the agency one day, what are your thoughts on personal channel versus niche channel? Personal channel, you can always rebrand it later. Yeah, like you can just change the name. Again, like it was funny when this offer came through this morning, or this not even an offer, a request for like, we'll buy your channel. My wife is like, how would we even sell the channel? I was like, we just rebrand it. Instead of like Adam Erhart, now it's marketing channel, the marketing channel. And then they just start putting other people on it. And all those videos continue to generate sales and leads and ad rev behind it. So yeah, you can swap it out. But like, again, my view on agencies and selling, businesses in general, actually. And again, unless it's like a massive software acquisition for like 9 figures, most of the time you're going to be better to automate and cash flow it, for what you want, especially because like the way that agencies are valued, again, depends, but like, they look at the EBITDA, the earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization, and they look at like 0.5 to 1 revenue or 2 revenue at most. If you've got systems, on the other hand, they'll look at it like 2 to 5 times EBITDA, maybe. But if you have software or something, it's like 10 EBITDA. So an agency is typically not an amazing thing to sell, especially when you consider that it'll just continue. Like if you can set it up right, it'll cash flow an absolute ton of money. I worked this out a long time ago. Before I had money saved, my agency started making cash flow, obviously, because you can't save it before you have it. And I worked out the amount of investments that I would need to like cash flow $100K a month. And it was, I can't remember. What's that again? Let's do some math, Dave. It was like, say, it was like 10 mil at 10% would do it, or 20 mil at 5%. There you go. 20 mil at 5%. So if you've got 20 mil invested and you're making 5% returns that you can withdraw, which again, there's this thing called, I forget what it is, the golden ratio, or like you should be taking out 4% or 3.5% or something like that. So it's even less. But like, or you could just have an agency and then try to automate and delegate as much as possible so that you now have this cash flow machine without needing the initial 20 mil invested. And then the beauty is, unless you're, again, I'm not judging anybody's lifestyle choices, but like, unless you're insane, you're not spending $100,000 a month. Like, it's just like, I don't know. It ain't happening. That'd be a weird lifestyle. That's something I probably want no part of. That'd be unhealthy. So it's like, so you just basically stack a bunch of cash and then you put it in low fee ETFs and let it just build, or real estate or whatever, something really boring. And you just sort of let it compound behind the scenes. Investing 101 with Adam and Dave.
Yeah, so I think to answer the original question, I think, I would always create a personal YouTube channel. So like your name, like you've seen Adam's or the Agency Accelerator one, like your name and then maybe the business name afterwards, that's fine. But your content is going to be around that niche anyway, so it's fine. It's going to be like, oh, that's Jesse who does the coaching stuff or whatever it is.
Yeah. And yeah, good question. And thanks for the clarification there, Jesse. Yeah, for Justin and for you. And the other thing that you could do if you really wanted is you could put your name / the agency or whatever it is. That's what I've done with this channel, actually, is like, it's now, because we were looking at some of the things, and when it was just Agency Accelerator, we weren't taking advantage of like the brand capital around the Adam name. So by putting Adam back in there, it just shows up for more stuff. So that is another option. Like the main channel is branded as Adam Erhart, not Adam Erhart Marketing, not da-da-da-da-da. If I had to start again, like a brand new channel, I might go Adam Erhart / marketing or whatever it was. But yeah, people are always going to like doing business with people more than they are with businesses. And if you look at, I think the only real reason to brand a channel under like a brand name is if you were to have like multiple presenters. And even then it's a tough sell. All right. Groovy. All right. We got a couple minutes left and then we'll wrap it. Any final questions coming in under the wire? And then it's lunchtime here and it's bedtime there.
Yeah, I'm tired now.
And all good things. Yeah.
Rob D asked, what is a reasonable price point for just Google business page?
Oh, I missed it. Right on. Yes. Reasonable price point for just GBP setup and optimization. So I don't like doing this. I don't like doing one-off stuff because it's a lot of work to build the relationship, and like the real money is made in the recurring revenue of it. So what I would prefer to do is include it as part of a package. So it's like, we'll set it up for free as part of our marketing package that is then going to optimize it over the next 90 days, 6 months, something like that. That to me is significantly preferable, rather than like just front loading a ton of work, especially because like you just have to charge so much more to make it worth your time. So like a reasonable price, honestly, not much, $500, $300, because it's not going to take you any time. But I wouldn't do it for that because it would just be a shame. When what you could do is you'd be like, yeah, we'll include it. It's valued at $1,000 and it's part of our $1,000 a month package for the next 3 months, 6 months, where we're also going to do this thing and that chat widget and this thing, and we'll add this other one, and we'll have missed call text back. We do a reactivation campaign, all things that do not take you a ton of time or cost you any money, but provide real value to the client. So again, it's like that. Nobody buys a 1/4 inch drill bit. They want a 1/4 inch hole. And I heard, I think it was Seth Godin say, he's like, they don't even want a 1/4 inch hole. They want the hole so they can hang the picture that represents the image that they took of their family so it's like, well, why do they want GBP optimized? Is it for the reviews? Is it for SEO? Is it for like, there's a reason. They don't just want it because everyone else has it. It's probably reviews, if I had to just guess, but.
Yeah, I was going to say that like GBP optimization, part of that is going to be reputation management. And that's an ongoing process where we need to keep requesting the reviews, make sure we're getting good quality reviews. So that could be the process. It's like we optimize, that's the first part, but then we look to build your reputation because that's going to help the rankings and we're going to get you further up. And then we make tweaks as we go. So yeah, reputation management could be one, but then also you add other services around that as well.
Yeah, awesome. All right, my man. I think our time has come.
Cool.
Name of the program that this thing is used is called Ecamm Live, and it's just on Mac. But you can use, I don't know, other things for PCs. Other things. Stream Deck. There's some other stuff. I have no idea.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called either. What is it called?
StreamYard.
Yeah. There's also Vidyard. There's also some other ones, but yeah, Ecamm Live. ECAMM Live. Okay, buddy. Well, thank you to everyone for the great questions. Good to see you, Dave. Get some rest. Be ready and recharged, and have an amazing time. And we'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you soon, guys.
See you, everybody. Bye-bye.